Incubus, released in December 2006 on DVD, anyways. From Fuel Entertainment, which is owned by Sony Entertainment. Starring Tara Reid, Alicia O'Connell, produced by Donald Kirshner and Pierre Spengler, written by Gary Humphreys and directed by Anya Camilleri, who has also done a few other films like Two Golden Balls and Nylon. I've never seen either of those, so I couldn't tell you what they are. But basically, Incubus is a stripped down slasher film. That's the basic way to describe this film. Do you like slasher films, but you hate all the gore, all the violence, but you still like seeing people die just by basic circumstances? This might be for you. A lot of people are gonna hate this movie. It's very bland. So basically, you follow teenage or young adults, let's say. So there's about 6 of them. They're driving. They roll the car, and it's all busted. And now they have to go find help. They're in the middle of nowhere. I think it takes place in like Montana or something like that. But yeah, and then they find this random building in the woods. So they decide to check it out, sneak in. Turns out it's an abandoned military base, and then they find a guy strapped to a chair. And it turns out this guy has like an eye, sort of like carving or something like that up here. And he actually has a third eye, technically, where he basically manipulates them when they fall asleep in their minds and makes them kill each other. So, overall, this premise is interesting. The execution, absolutely awful. Yeah. I thought this film is super boring. Most of it's just bickering and people walking around an abandoned building. Yeah, Tara Reid's gorgeous as always in this film, especially in the early 2000s. She was always hot, but yeah. But yeah, other than that, like the acting's pretty good in this. The writing needs a lot of work. It has a lot of stupid jokes that fall flat all the time. Yeah, and it's just boring. And that's the best way to describe this film. Sheer boredom. Most people will probably turn this off in 20 minutes. I watched the whole hour and 27 minutes to see what would happen with hopes of something interesting. Most of the kills are pretty dumb. Yeah, like it's easy, simple, cheesy stuff like screwdriver to the eye, stuff like that. There's evil scientists that end up killing each other, and then also they find a key in a dead woman's mouth, and this is 100% me in this case. We'll be like, hey, what is that? And they stick their fingers in the dead chick's mouth and find a key. Turns out it's a key to unlock the door. The guy's trapped to the chair, and he has tubes and stuff coming out. And they realize like slowly he manipulates them when they fall asleep or when they're unconscious, and then they go on a killing spree. But so they tried to test their theory out with one of their friends, and kind of works. And then the only way to get him to like let his grip go is basically unplug all the tubes and stuff, and then he ends up breaking free and walking around. Now this is like a bald Caucasian male walking around in a beige Speedo, basically, skin color. And yeah, and then he starts calling out their names creepily and stuff, where it gets like a little interesting for the last like 10 minutes, but other than that, there's not much to this. There's not much to talk about either. Yeah. Besides just a whole pile of young 20-year-olds bickering and people start killing each other for no reason, then they slowly figure out why. It's just your typical slasher, except there's no rhyme or reason for it. And at the end of the film, when you sit back and think, what was the purpose of this? Most films has like a hitting meeting or something like that, or yeah, that the filmmakers are trying to make or poke like fun at certain things in society or something like that. This absolutely has nothing going for it. Yeah, it's just whole pile of people bickering, a lot of close-ups of Tara Reid crying, singing, screaming "Oh brother" and shit like that. And yeah, that's about it. Incubus is a sheer boredom. If you like B cheesy movies, you might find a little bit of enjoyment in this. I found this on a horror pack to check out. So here, I actually seen this like way back when, like I rented from Blockbuster when they used to exist. So yeah, until I forgot how bad it was. But yeah, Incubus is not really worth it. There's only pretty much two decent things. Like the last 10 minutes is amusing, and Tara Reid's gorgeous in it. And that's about it. And the acting's decent. The writing needs a lot of work though. So, the disappointing cons outweigh the pros this time. Um, so, I could say one thing: it's not as bad as Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever, or some of the other bad ones I reviewed. I've seen much worse than this, but I just thought it was boring. So, with all those cons and the very little pros, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5 because that was pretty much a waste of time. So, but if you really want to check it out and see what I'm talking about, even the trailer you probably find boring. So, just watch the trailer. If it looks somewhat interesting, you might find it interesting a bit, but if it looks absolutely awful, I guarantee you're going to find it awful. It's linked down, trailer's linked down below, like always. Same with my Instagram, where I post clips of films I'm review in the future on my story, and look for the hashtag because I usually put the title somewhere hidden in there just for fun. And yeah, make sure you comment down below if you've seen this. Let me know what you think. Did you hate it? Did you find it super boring like I did, or do you absolutely love this movie? I'll love to find someone who actually loves this movie. But yeah, that'll be interesting to get that comment. But yeah, comment those down below. Also, if you have films that you want me to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my hardest to get to them as soon as I can. And what else? Make sure you like this video, share it so most people don't have to live through the dread, and always remember to subscribe because you never know what I'm going to talk about next unless you follow me on Instagram. That's cool. I also might start posting my Snapchat soon, but not yet. But yeah, so, but Incubus, what a disappointment. There's 5 other films on here, and I'm trying to cover them all up to Halloween because I know there's at least 2 decent ones in this pack, so there should be something else that's worthwhile. So, yeah, stay tuned. They're all completely different films, too. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe, and with that, hopefully the next one's good. So, I'll see you in the next review with some more B-movie horror cheese, and hopefully it's not just some boring old slasher crap. So, see you then.